Hello everybody, it's Level 4 for another weekly update, and I have a puppy! Look at your puppy. Look at your puppy. Since it's been a while since I've had a puppy on video, for those of you who are new, I guess, my mother is a dog breeder, and I think I left my microphone on the wrong setting, so I'm just going to quickly change that, and now I'm going to sound completely different. Or slightly different. It's okay. What's wrong? What's wrong? My mom is a dog breeder. The breed here is Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. I just woke it up, so it's just like, where am I? I was just playing with you yesterday and you were fine. Puppies, am I right? Okay, here. Get the sun out of your eyes. Did you calm down? I'll wait till it calms down. But yeah, so this breed is called Cavalier King Charles Spaniels, and they're incredibly adorable. And so we usually have them every few months or so, and we sell them obviously. So this one doesn't have a name because she's going to be sold soon. Well, not soon. They have to be weaned and get their shots and everything first, and just make sure they're healthy and everything. But yeah, so haven't had a puppy Roth on the videos in a while, so I figured I'd show you guys. And she's very shy, camera shy apparently. But yeah, so let's see. So we'll talk about updates, and then we'll talk about events this past week. Because I'm sure there's a few things that some of you guys are waiting for me to talk about. One thing in particular. But yeah, so Evil End 2 is going to keep going on. We're kind of getting close to the end of the game, I think. We're almost up to the second piece of the key. We're going the campaign through Demonia. It's I really like the Fire Emblem style of everything. It's good stuff. So yeah, that's going. I picked Super Mario Brothers 3 backups. See, you're fine. You're fine. I picked Super Mario Brothers 3 backups. I recorded a few episodes of that, so that'll keep going every other day-ish until that finishes. This week, I'm also going to work on the final Final Fantasy VII Limit Break video, which was Kate Sith, which I never finished because I had lost footage a few years ago, and then cancer, and it's just very hard to have time to put it together because that's the most involved one. If you guys have ever played Final Fantasy VII and used Kate Sith's slot, or Kate Shi, for some reason it's apparently pronounced Kaishi or something, but no, Kate Sith. So if you ever use the slot ability, there's a lot of things, and I had to record every single one, including the game over and the instant win one. And in the video I'm gonna have to discuss how to get the instant win thing because it's impossible without cheating, and it's yeah. So I'm actually not looking forward to that. I actually didn't lose any of the footage for those parts. I lost the footage for his dice ability, which has an entire numbers thing related to it. But I'm going to try to get that done this week because all the recent Final Fantasy VII news has super boosted all of my Final Fantasy VII Limit Break videos. I don't know why, but like, you know, the Eris and Cloud Limit Break videos were always popular. Like they would get several hundred views a month, and they're like 3 years old now. So it's still mind-boggling that happens, but like recently, like the past week, all of them have gotten a few hundred views because people are talking about Final Fantasy VII again and searching for it. I'm like, but yeah, so I'm gonna try to get that finished and get off my plate and finally finish my Final Fantasy VII Let's Play after 3 years of it not actually being over. See, you're fine now. So that's something. Try to lift you up a little bit so your people can see you. Now, see, we have the window in the way. That's a little better. You're fine. You're fine. Uh, so that'll be a thing. I'm also going to try to record a bonus video for Wonderful 101 because there's a few things that unlock after you beat the game. So I'm just gonna do that, and I still need to do the last Wizard's Companion, Tale of Wonder story. I'm pretty sure. So I'll get that done too. But yeah. So that's pretty much it for the updates. Yeah. As for other things, my Hanukkah's been going very well. It's just been nice. It's been, I don't know, I was in a lot of pain last week because, I don't know, it was the barometric pressure or something. Weather kind of stank. But the holiday itself has been nice. Today, after uploading this, I'm going to be going over to my aunt's house, and we have like a family get together of all the cousins on my mother's side, and it's nice. It's going to be nice. I haven't really gotten any like presents, but I did get myself stuff, so that counts, right? I got myself a pack of from PokemonCenter.com. I got like a 3-card pack with a special Sableye card in it, and that was really cool. With the Breakthrough series, I already put the Sableye card away, but I just want to show you some of the pulls I got. One of them was Mewtwo EX, and it's just nice looking. We didn't have that before, but mainly in this, out of the 3 packs, I got a Marowak Break card. These things are really cool. I like them a lot. And yeah, Bone Revenge has attacked us 40 more damage for each prize card your opponent has taken. So yeah, that's really cool stuff. Also, I think I showed this off, but yeah, Christy got me 3 Tyrantars. I'm not putting those away. I'm keeping them out over here. So yeah, my little brother got some. I got him a blister pack with Ancient Origins, 3 Ancient Origins, and a shiny Mega Rayquaza pin. And I don't have that on me because he has it, but so he really liked that. I also got him the shiny Mega Metagross plush from the Pokemon Center site, which Metagross is his favorite Pokemon, and so Christy had pointed out that they're selling it, so he's just like, and it's really cool. It's huge. It's huge. It's like it's the size of sushi, so very nice. Also, Christy, your poster is now up over there above the. So yes, I did find a place to put it. The poster that was there is now by my door, which you can't see because it's behind a wall. But yeah, so the Pokemon thing that Christy drew is up there. So yeah, I also got the guidebook for Xenoblade, mainly because they had one, and I had a lot of trouble in the last game with just trying to find items and things, and this has helped out a lot. Also, it came with like a cool little cloth of the same thing. I haven't looked at the story mode because I don't know. First of all, the story mode in Xenoblade is kind of piecemeal, but also because I don't want to actually spoil anything for myself, and I've been able to use the guide without it spoiling the story for me, so I'm very happy. But like it says, the locations of where items appear for the Collectopedia and the different quests. It talks about all the affinity quests and what you got to do for those, and has an enemy encyclopedia and just stuff about the characters and things. And so yeah, Xenoblade is really, really fun. I've been playing it a lot this week. I'm up to chapter 5. I think I beat chapter 5. Maybe. I guess I'm up to starting chapter 6 then. But there's like a lot of stuff to do in between. There's a lot of different characters. I like the fact that aside from the heart-to-hearts, there are affinity missions where you get to spend time with the characters. Although I've really been... My team has pretty much been myself, Elma, Lynn, and whomever. And it doesn't really let the 4th person level up as much because I either keep switching them or whatever, but like my main characters are all level 30, the 3 of them. And I actually took Elma out of my party for a bit because I already reached max affinity with her just from having her in the party and everything. The battle system is definitely a lot more engaged than Xenoblade, and it's a lot harder. Xenoblade, your auto attacks actually meant something, and you could really kill an enemy with pretty easily that was like equal level to you. This one, in this game, at least with the setup that I have, every battle, unless the enemy is like 3 or 4 levels under you and it's smaller or equal size to you and not one of the larger enemies, you have to actually use all your techs and everything and strategy and things. I really like the system for targeting limbs and appendages and either cutting them off or disabling them or whatever, and it prevents the enemy from using certain attacks, or it makes them weaker or whatever. And also that destroying certain appendages could give you specific items after the battle. I like that system a lot. It definitely keeps me engaged for the battles. But I really wish that the difficulty was a little less, that I didn't have to, I have less of a drive to just go out and kill things and farm items and stuff. And you actually want to farm items in this game, because aside from quests, there are very few quests I found that actually ask you to farm items. It's mostly gathering and killing things. But the item farming is for building weaponry and I guess armor, maybe. Not just weaponry. Maybe. I don't know. And I haven't... So far, I've played the game a lot, and I kill a lot of things. I'm level 30 already, and I haven't been able to put together a single item. I haven't been able to craft anything, and I think that kind of stinks, because there's a lot of stuff that I can presumably make. But it gives you a list of all the things that you need, and each item needs like 5 different types of items and like 5 or 6 of each one, and some of them are rare drops and this and that and the other thing. And I don't know, I think it's kind of silly that I can't make use of this side thing unless I specifically grind an enemy over and over and over and try to get that. But it has not lessened my experience in the game, really. It's still been a fun experience. I really, really enjoy the characters. There's a lot of characters in the game. I'm talking about like characters to interact with, either with like voiced characters or potential party members. And that's one thing I'm actually not looking forward to later, because affinity missions, some of them require you to be at a specific affinity with the characters, not just getting started or just using them and it being at a specific level. And there's a lot of characters to use, and to keep cycling through them means I have to keep nerfing my party, because right now I have 2 level 30 characters and 2 level 20 characters, which means I can't fight anything above level 26 without having a hard time, and that takes time. But what I'm really enjoying is the music, because it's not on the level of Xenoblade, but it fits perfectly with each area has perfect music for itself, and just it loops well, and I can listen to it over and over, and it's nice. It's very nice. But yeah, that's it for Xenoblade. Final Fantasy VII Remake. So last week I was raving about it, then a few days later Square decided to say, we're going to be making it episodic. And I and many other people went absolutely crazy. Ballistic, I should say. Crazy makes make it sound good. We went ballistic on it. And there was actually a lot of backlash on the internet, and I wasn't expecting it. There's a lot of people that were hyped for the game, but apparently there were a lot of people, anti-hype people, that were just waiting for the one thing for people to start complaining over, so that they could say, oh, blah, 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 blah. And the 2 main arguments I heard were, one, well, the original game was on 3 discs. Isn't that episodic too? And the other one was, they didn't have to make it, so you should shut up, because you should be glad with what they give you. I'm going to talk about why each of those is a ridiculous idea. First of all, the original game could not fit on 1 disc. If they could have fit that game on 1 disc, they would have. Final Fantasy X was not episodic because they could fit the entire game on 1 DVD. Final Fantasy VII is on CDs. They had to put it on multiple discs, and because they had to put it on multiple discs, they had to make it episodic, meaning that you had to get to an end of a disc and start at the beginning, but they also didn't make any difference to it whatsoever. The only difference between the discs, spoilers if you've never played Final Fantasy VII, the difference between disc 1 and disc 2 was that one of your party members was dead forever. That was the only difference. You could still go back to everywhere. You had the same party, the same stats, the same save file. This one, and disc 2 and 3, I believe, was after the Midgar cannon fires. And again, that's because disc 3 is just cutscenes, pretty much, and the final fight. So it's a stupid thing to say, well, the original game was episodic, so you should be used to it. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was broken up by discs because it had to be. This doesn't have to be. They're changing the style. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I think that it's kind of silly because I hate episodic games. I can watch them, but I don't like playing them. Because all the episodic games I've seen they give you an illusion of choice. They say, oh, well, especially with Square Enix with things like Life is Strange, which they've made, they say, well, you have this and that and the other thing, and Life is Strange is a little better than some of, like, Telltale stuff, which, despite what you do, things are different in each, like, it doesn't actually give you choices, and Life is Strange kind of gave you some permanent choices to make that carried over. But the way to talk about Final Fantasy VII is that it's going to be focused on characters' stories. Like, each segment apparently is a different character story. I'm really not sure how they're going to do that, which is why I'm not complaining about, oh, that's going to ruin the game, because what I'm hoping is that it means that they're incorporating some facet of Crisis Core, maybe Dirge of Cerberus, into it, as giving like a Zack story and a Vincent story and things like that. That would be the best thing. But to say that the original was episodic because it was on multiple discs is just dumb. And to say that therefore you should be used to it is dumb. I'm sorry if that was your argument, but it just makes you sound like you're trying to hate on it because other people are legitimately concerned. The other argument that well, you should be glad that they give you whatever you get, is one of the stupidest things I have ever heard. And if you try to say that anywhere else, people will look at you like you have a square head. It's like going to a restaurant and ordering a steak, and they give you a piece of chicken, and you say, I didn't order the chicken, I wanted a nice steak, and they say, you should be glad that we gave you food at all. It doesn't work. You go into a movie theater and you ask for a jumbo bag of popcorn, and they give you a thing of Milk Duds or something, or those disgusting Junior Mints, and you say, well, I wanted a nice big thing of popcorn to chew on. And they say, well, you should be glad that we gave you anything at all. It's stupid. And yes, Square Enix didn't have to make a remake Final Fantasy VII, which I think is another stupid argument, because Final Fantasy VII is their cash cow. It's the thing that they're known for. It's the thing that they keep coming back to every few years, especially since 2017 is going to be its 20-year anniversary. So they're going to do something, and that's Cloud is their most recognizable mascot by far. And if you think that they didn't have to, well, you don't know how business works. But aside from that, let's say that they didn't actually have to remake it. Okay, they didn't have to remake it. But they already announced that they are. Which means that saying, well, now that it already started, you should just take what you're given, is dumb. Because this is their largest franchise. And I'm not saying that as a Final Fantasy VII super mega fanboy, which I am, and I admit, and I could be blowing this out of proportion. I'm saying this as somebody who has seen how Square Enix works, has worked, especially with regards to Final Fantasy VII. It's been ported everywhere. It just got on the PS4, which is a very good port of it, by the way. If you have a PS4, buy it. It's the updated translation, so they took out like things like "This Guy Are Sick" and "Executive Produce," but they did put in a feature to speed up the battles and turn off random battles. So I actually like that, because that was one of the problems of the game. But anyway, Final Fantasy VII has been ported to Steam, the PS3, PS4. On the PS Vita, they gave a version also. It's like the PSN Classics. The PS1 Classics, excuse me. Cloud has been in every, like, Dissidia and Curtain Call. He's coming to Smash. Like, this isn't, like, you don't see Squall or Zidane or Titus, with as much representation. Then again, Final Fantasy X did get a remake, but not a remake, a remaster. But that's just a remaster. This is a complete overhaul. They're putting a lot of work into this, and if I feel like they're ruining it because of that, I actually, as a weird, stupid kid on the internet, feel that I'm justified in complaining, and I shouldn't just accept whatever they give me, because I'm highly invested in the final product. I'm going to be paying Square Enix probably more than $60 for the finished product, especially if it's going to be episodic. I'm saying, because it's going to be episodic, it's probably going to be $20 to $30 per segment, depending on how many segments there are. They could also do a Blizzard and charge full price for each segment, like Blizzard did with StarCraft 2. I paid $180 for the full StarCraft 2 experience. More, because I got the collector's edition of the last one, which I think was worth it. And if they do a collector's edition of Final Fantasy VII, you bet I'm going to be buying that. And I'm putting my money into it, and I don't have to just accept whatever they give me, because that's and I see this from people that work in retail and things like that. And if they were to have that attitude towards their customers, they'd be fired. And Square Enix shouldn't have that attitude. No company, especially gaming companies, should not have the attitude of, we can give them whatever crap we want. That's not a good business model. That's not a good PR model. Their model should be, we should give them the best product we can make. If that happens to be the episodic things, then I will gladly shut up and buy it. But in my opinion, that's not, because that's not what I'm used to. I realize it's not going to be traditional like the original game was, but I like the Kingdom Heartsy style, and I'm hoping for the best on this one. But if we just say, okay, well, let's shut up and let Square Enix do whatever it wants, it's very possible they'll ruin the game, because they've made some really lousy stuff in the past few years. And some people like Final Fantasy 13 and Final Fantasy 13-2 and Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13. I think that is a miserable series. Some people liked the fact that their most recent Final Fantasy was an MMO, and it looks fun. I think that's terrible, because they haven't been focusing on other things. And they've been making a lot of weird choices, and I don't want that to carry over into the remake of my favorite game of all time. And if I feel that that means that I have to complain about little announcements that we don't know anything about, then I am going to, because it seems to still be in development. And if it's still in development, that means that there's still a chance to change it, or at least make Square Enix temper themselves and not, go entirely experimental, But, yeah, that's just my opinion. If you think that I'm still an entitled jerk that should just take what he's given and shut up about minor changes and news, let me know, and I will happily read your comments. But I have given you my opinion on the matter, and I'm very open to hearing your guys' takes on it. If you don't want to talk about it or whatever, that's fine too. But anyway, that is going to do it for the weekly update. And thank you very much for watching. And if that's offended you in any way, shape, or form, here's an adorable, cute little sleeping, just woken up puppy. Goodbye, everybody. Bye-bye.